Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you 10 things you need to know before receiving a kidney transplant. Quickly, before we hop into our 10 things, I want to introduce myself for anybody that is new here. My name is Cindy Flores, and on my channel I share my kidney transplant journey as well as testimony, travel vlogs, lifestyle videos, workout videos, and so much more. So if you are new, definitely consider subscribing. Also, do not forget to press the little bell button for push notifications. Now let's begin. So the first thing that you should know after transplant is that diet is very important. It's still going to be important. Even though it's going to be a lot more relaxed, you still have to keep in mind what you're eating. You don't want to eat things that are too high in sugar, greasy foods, or anything that is going to cause you to gain weight or really cause your body more toxic. So a lot of times when we are on dialysis, we go from being on a super strict renal diet to switching over to something a lot more lenient, and we do like to get carried away and we start to binge eat on things that we were missing out on. So I understand it can be a challenge, but my advice to you is to try to stick to a healthy diet as much as possible. A lot of times people don't realize that when they start eating all crazy, they can quickly gain weight, as well as having other side effects. For example, I used to always have clear skin when I was on dialysis, but then I was eating like crazy, eating a whole bunch of chocolate. So now I'm very mindful on my diet because it goes hand in hand. You need to balance everything. It's okay to eat a couple of things here and there, but really try to go towards the healthier route, eating your fruits and your vegetables, trying to avoid anything that is too high in salt or too high in sugar. And I say this because especially now, if you have a transplant, you are on the higher risk of having diabetes because of the medications. So diet, always keep it in mind. Don't get too lenient about it, and really drink lots of fluid and keep your system flushed and your kidneys constantly hydrated. So my second advice is that sunscreen is going to be your new best friend. This is super important if you are in the process of getting a transplant, or if you have a transplant. Make sunscreen a new habit like of yours to just put it on. Because of the immunosuppressants, it just does not interact good with the sun. So you have to be super careful, constantly applying it. Something that I had to learn because I'm not a huge sunscreen person. Now I am because of it. Like if I know I'm gonna be out in the sun for a long period of time, I am constantly putting sunscreen because you just don't wanna, put yourself in a risk. You're already at a high risk. You don't wanna, increase your chances more of getting skin cancer or getting sunburn. Also, because of the high risk, I do have to follow up once a year with the cardiologist where they just check over my skin, making sure no like spots are cancerous or any of that. So be mindful of the sun, wear your sunscreen, it's super important. So my third advice to you is to keep your stress levels low. This is super important, not just for somebody with a kidney transplant, but just basically anybody out there. It's super important that you try to avoid stress as much as possible. I know it's a natural thing, and I know sometimes the smallest things can trigger stress, but remember, stress kills, and you do not want to be putting your body through more stress because it's already stressful having kidney disease. Imagine, kidney disease, then stress from your social life or your family life or your spiritual life. Try to relax, try to avoid conflict, try to be as cheerful and as positive as possible because you just really have to be careful with stress. So my fourth advice to you is to have a strong medical group. And the reason why I say strong is because it's super important that you know your doctors, their experience, how long they've been doing transplant. Also, find out about the regulations of your hospital because every hospital is different and they do transplant differently. So for example, I got my transplant at Inova Hospital and they are super strict on the biopsy. They require an annual biopsy from all their patients, and not every hospital does that. And I know this because I spoke to many of you guys that your hospital is super lenient, or like your doctors don't give patients prednisone. For example, my doctor gives me prednisone. But just do your research, really have a strong team, make sure you communicate with them well. Do your research on your surgeon, like his past, like just really be informed who your doctors are going to be, and make sure it's a strong team, a hospital that you really like, and make sure you have a strong communication with your nephrologist. My fifth advice to you is to take your time to heal. I cannot stress this enough, guys. It is so important that you really just get your transplant and then just relax. I did a horrible job doing that. Like, I honestly got my transplant feeling better over the days, and I just started uploading videos, editing, and it was stressful. I hit burnout pretty quick. So definitely take your time to heal and to relax, stay in bed, be with your family, take this time to truly recover. Don't jump into, running, or don't jump into trying to work out so right away. I've seen this mistake many times in people's, transplant journey, and speaking for myself, I told you guys, like, I made the mistake too by just jumping into things, but I felt like that later brought me more problems because, if you guys watch my videos, you guys know that my first year was my toughest year. I was constantly in and out of the hospital. So just be very careful and really rest as much as possible. My next advice to you is to definitely maintain yourself as organized as possible. This is going to be super helpful for you to make sure that you're on top of your doctor's appointments, on your medication, and really on top of your health overall. You don't want to be all over the place, especially since you're going to be taking a whole bunch of medications. You need to be, very precise on your times, making sure you're taking it at the right time, as well as, taking the right medication, and just there's so many things that go into it. You have to be organized. You can't make the mistake of not being organized, because they could truly lead into more damage to your health rather than good. So stay on top of your things, stay organized. So my next advice is to be mindful of your surroundings. And what I mean by surroundings is make sure you are not around anybody that is coughing, sneezing, anybody that could possibly be sick, nothing that is contagious. You just need to truly stay away from that, because our immune system is suppressed. So we have to be super careful, not just with the people we surround ourselves, but also where we're buying our food, or even in crowded areas. You just have to be very careful, be cautious. I know for me, I wasn't going into crowds until about 2 months of my transplant. And then I was really surrounding myself with crowds and stuff. So just be very careful and stay away from anybody that may appear to be sick. Next thing you should know before receiving a transplant is that you're most likely going to have to be pre-medicated before any dentist appointment. Your doctors will let you know about this, but you always have to make sure, even if it's a simple, just a clean that you're going for, you always need to be pre-medicated, because you just never know if you start to bleed and then it can go to your heart and cause an infection. So they are cautious, and they do pre-prescribe medications prior to your appointments, which will most likely be given to you by your dentist. Another thing that I want to mention to you guys is that you are not alone. Remember, you are not alone throughout this whole process. You guys have friends, family, you have the kidney community, you also have me to talk to and ask me for questions. You have your medical team. You guys have so many people. I know the enemy has came to kill, steal, and destroy, and sometimes he could put that fear and make us feel alone that we are in this battle. But remember, you are not alone. You have people around you that are willing to support you, that are willing to encourage you and to give you advice and to help you through your journey. I know it's not an easy journey. I know the challenge. I lived through it. I am a living testimony of kidney disease. So I want to just let you know that you are not alone, and to keep fighting, keep pushing, and reach out to your friends, reach out to your families, talk to your medical team, talk to me here on my channel. You always have a strong community here, as well as Facebook. You guys can easily join a kidney, group. I'm a member of so many kidney groups, and I feel like it's truly has helped me a lot. I will just go on their page and I read other people's stories. It helps me, encourages me, and also I learn every single time I go on there. I hear different people's experience, and it's just pretty amazing. So talk to people, and always remember that there's somebody always there willing to hear you. And the last thing that I want to mention is that transplant is a gift. It is an amazing, amazing, wonderful gift that you get to receive, and it feels like it's a second opportunity of life. So really take care of yourself, take care of your kidney, and make the best out of it and make the most out of it. Truly relax, truly enjoy it, live life right, and just be grateful. Be grateful for the fact that you have a transplant, and be grateful for the fact that you are still alive and you are still fighting. I know it's not easy, but you are still fighting. Every day it's a battle, and you are still in the battlefield, and you have the victory, guys. So always remember this is a gift, and it's a great gift. And I know it may sound sometimes like people are whining about a transplant, or maybe it sounds hard, because I had that mentality. I used to think that, oh, you know, the side effects are too strong, or oh, this, that, and the other, and I would put all these excuses why I shouldn't receive a transplant. But then after, when I did get one, I realized, wow, like I wish I would have done this sooner, because it's truly a gift, and it's just great. It makes you feel so much better, so much stronger. So at the end of the day, always stay grateful, because a transplant will always overweigh dialysis, because dialysis is just a whole nother story. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video encouraged you to take that step forward to get a transplant. I will soon be making a video of 5 different ways of how to receive a transplant, so stay tuned for that. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a blessed and a beautiful day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye everyone.